you. I want to start by talking about what it means to be deaf, and then I'll get to the superpower part. There's actually two definitions, and I'm really good at both of these. But I'm going to focus on the first one, what it means to be of impaired hearing. I was born with a severe to profound hearing loss, which put me at the bottom of this chart. That means I grew up with a hearing aid, a lot of speech therapy, but no sign language. And it was a risky bet by my mother, but it paid off. In fact, the only sign that I know is the American sign for I love you, the gang sign for the blood with the pretzel hand syndrome, and little Mikey Wilson's enthusiasm for the Dutch Rotterdam soccer team. When I was 25, I suffered a second hearing loss that took it down even further and got a cochlear implant, which bypasses the eardrum and plays your auditory nerve like a piano. They've gotten better over the years, and now I'm just waiting for the upgrade that will help me assimilate a lot more. But it's not obvious that I have an implant. I don't hear out of my left ear, and the TSA often thinks that I'm rude for wearing my Bluetooth. Unlike that guy on the lower left who has a cochlear implant but had no such excuse. And it's not easy being a superhero. I spent a lot of time alone on the playground as a kid, being teased and the like. And in high school, my friend Matt gifted me in our yearbook all those little things you missed that you made a big deal over. And there's no shortage of people who think that I'm deaf and dumb because I talk pretty or because I don't hear a question asked. There's even something known as the deaf smile, which is where I smile gregariously, even though I didn't hear something. And it turns out someone just told me they had cancer. And like any superhero, there is a weakness, which is too much sound. I have no real natural ability to discriminate background noise, so it hit me like a wall. And a little bit of it can leave me exhausted or irritated. It's kind of like at the mall or at the bar or even the low hum of the air conditioner. It's kind of like having 3 kids screaming at you at one time. Even the government has used it, like when they blasted the Waco compound with songs from Barney the Dinosaur. But it's not all bad. There are superpowers. There's an upside. Hidden abilities and talent come from a lifetime of being deaf. And many of you may relate to some of these. They're not exclusive to being deaf. So here we go. 1, if I had a nickel for every time someone asked me, where's your accent from? I'd be able to afford a Capitol Hill commune. But I don't always carry my dual citizenship passport, but I do always have my speech impediment. Some of you might have guessed this. I can lip read across the room, especially people who are talking about things that happened in Vegas. But sometimes I can make a mistake, like when someone says, olive juice, and I say, I love you too. And because I'm in such a habit of lip reading, I look at people, and intensely. And there's no two ways about it. People usually think I'm very authentically engaged or I'm excessively attached. And since I was little, I've always taken off my implant or my hearing aid to go to sleep. So it's like a Pavlovian response. I take it off and I can fall asleep just about anywhere, anytime. I also take it off when I shower, but fortunately that has not killed me yet. And when I take it off, I don't hear anything at all, which is awesome when you have a kid and your wife does all the waking up at night. I love you, honey. It also means I've slept through a lot of fire alarms. Now, here's a complicated one. There's also something weird when you don't have context for everything you're hearing. Lots of ordinary experiences become kind of surreal, like an alternate reality. When I was little, I remember listening to the Pledge of Allegiance and not understanding the words. It was really spooky. And don't get me started on dancing either. And because my brain is always trying to fill in gaps, it's often trying to anticipate what's going to be said next. It's like kind of trying to figure out the picture on the left instead of really starting with the one on the right. Something I've gotten to be very good at. In English, there's one word for love. In Greek, there's many words for love. And just like that, these kids from Ecuador actually developed their own sign, and with it, a new way of thinking and new concepts. And I do that often, putting together visual with sound to create concepts in my head. And the second time I lost my hearing, I didn't know if I'd ever be able to hear again, much less be able to work professionally. So Helen Keller once said that deafness is the worst because it cuts you off from people. But I have also gained the knowledge that I can, will, and I have risen against adversity. And then finally, my hearing was taken from me twice, and it could be taken from me again. But with that comes the knowledge that nothing lasts forever. Not my life, not my loved one, not even the broken, beautiful sound that I have. Thank you.